We are rolling and we're live here at Breakroom 86 tonight. It is Thursday. Do I want to date it? Do I want to say it's August 17th?
Yeah, go for it.
All right, well, it's August 17th, Thursday night at Breakroom 86. Thank you all for joining us. Yeah. Get some vibes. Throw some vibes around. So I'm Freddy Giorlando, your co-host.
I'm Vinny Fiorenza with Who Is with Vinny Fiorenza. This is our, I don't know how many times we've been here now, but we're enjoying it, and hopefully we'll be back here next month too.
And where are we? We're at Breakroom 86. Breakroom 86 in Koreatown, Los Angeles. It's a great venue.
Yeah, it's on now. Good to go.
We're good to go. Breakroom 86 right here. We've been doing the podcast now for a few months, so we just want to thank the venue, Breakroom 86, Houston Hospitality, all the staff, everybody here. After the show's over, we're going to mix and mingle and have fun and all that good stuff. Be sure to tip the bartenders, be kind to the staff. This is family, and we're grateful to be here. So let's jump right into it. What's going on in your neck of the woods, Vinny? What's going on? Tell me about life. So I'm going to I'm going to say some stuff in a little bit, but I want you to get your words out.
Oh yeah, no, I'm just excited to be here. We're gonna have a fun night. Yeah, go for it, Freddie. Yeah, tell the people what you got on your mind, dude.
All right, so I just wanted to make a little announcement. I'm very excited. I'm also very grateful as well for the next venture in regards to producing and acting. The strike happened recently. We're in the midst of a strike, rightfully so, and I'm taking it back to the theater with a great group of individuals. We have chosen to play Mauritius by Teresa Rayback, and we're gonna put it up at Theater 68 in October. So we're stoked. We're excited for that.
Congrats, man.
That's really great. Yeah. So the theater has meant a lot to me throughout my whole career. The last time I was in the theater was 2019. I produced and acted in Death of a Salesman. It was an incredible experience. So we got a great group of people involved in this production that's to come. And I hope everyone out there will join us come October. More details to follow.
Woo! All right, let's get this show on the road. Freddie.
Let's go. Can I spin in this thing? No, I can't.
Go
it's okay.
He's trying his best.
Here we go. So tonight, just to start off, unfortunately, we don't have talent manager Michaela Mahoney. She couldn't make it out tonight, and we hope to have her in the future. And let's get right into our special guest this evening. So we'll start off with, he was born in Lima, Peru, moved to New York at the age of 3, and grew up in Queens and Great Neck, Long Island, prior to moving to LA. While on vacation in LA, he auditioned for Michael Eisner and ended up booking a series regular show. Sam Has 7 Friends was the name. Needless to say, his vacation turned into an official relocation. Wow, it's a great story right there. As an official relocation, as he continued to book roles in films and various TV shows, including House MD, Leverage, Southland, Sons of Anarchy, American Horror Story, The Bridge, Animal Kingdom, just to name a few, and many more. He is an actor, writer, and director. He spends his time between New York and Los Angeles. My friends, please give a warm welcome for Jaime Zevallos. Woo! Let's go!
Come on up.
Little background music as he makes his way. What's up, brother?
Appreciate you being here, man.
We appreciate you.
Thanks for having me.
Grateful to have you here.
Where'd you get that bio?
Vinny?
Yeah, no, I'm a researcher.
I feel like that's an old bio. I was like, House MD,
Yeah.
that's a throwback.
Was it a Wikipedia search or was it IMDb?
You're all over
What's
the
going on?
internet.
Maybe.
Here, let's go, Freddie. Who's our next guest?
Right into it. Next guest. He began his entertainment career in Massachusetts, where he grew up and started in radio broadcast and eventually working on-air markets in the likes of Modesto, Sacramento, Greenville, and Charleston, South Carolina. He spent 10-plus years working with some of the biggest top 40 brands and music labels in the country before heading west to LA. Having worked on various TV and film productions and executing the day-to-day responsibilities of one of Hollywood's biggest stars, he passionately brings that type of individual focus and attention to each of his clients at Bohemia. My friends, please give an extravagant, warm welcome to Girard. All right, we're in the
Nice.
building.
We appreciate you all being here. We're going to get to know these guys, get to know, especially with these times that we're dealing with right now, get to know Joe as a manager and Jaime as an actor, and to see how they're not only affected, but how they got to this point in their careers at this time right now. So Joe and Jaime. Joe, I guess start off. Give us a little background about yourself. I know we read a little bit. Give your own personal touch to that.
So first part of my career was radio broadcasting. I was a DJ for many years. Started in Worcester, Massachusetts, and then went west to Sacramento and Modesto, like you said. Then went back east to the Carolinas for a minute, and then in 2014-ish, moved to Los Angeles. Got into like film production and kind of TV and film and in the AD world a little bit. And then got into management around 2017-ish. Worked for myself for a while. Represented actors, writers, musicians, because I had the experience in radio, so I knew a bunch of artists who were kind of coming up and that kind of stuff. And then in 2020, of course, COVID hits. Everyone kind of gets kicked hard. And then I jumped in with Bohemia Group, and who I've been with since. And Bohemia Group's been a group that's been around since 1992. Susan Ferris, the CEO. She started the company back then. Her and I just kind of hit it off right away because she is from Boston, and that's where I'm from, Massachusetts. So
shout out B-Town.
Shout out to everyone back out there. And so we just had this great synergy and just kind of this great work, ethic, talking about what she was up to, what I was up to, and it just kind of matched. And I've been with them since, and it's been fantastic.
We're really happy to have you here, Jaime.
Yeah, Joe. Let's give it up for Joe coming out. Awesome. Jaime, tell us a little bit about yourself, getting your start, and not only acting, but even a filmmaker, director, all of the things above.
It all started when I was 12. I used to like writing on the walls in my neighborhood. I'm not lying.
Like graffiti?
Yeah, I was a graffiti.
Yeah, talk about that.
Yeah, I was a graffiti artist from like 12 through 18.
What was your tag?
My tag was Spur, S-P-E-R.
Nice.
Because I used to move around a lot, and someone was like, yo, your family just moves like in the spur of a moment. And I just was like, oh, that's a cool tag. And it just, like, I was called Spur till I was like 18. That was like my nickname in the neighborhood.
Love that.
And I got hired. At one point, I got really good at it where I was getting paid to do it. I was doing storefronts, and then I was doing paintings. And small world, I got invited to do a background of a play. And I was 18, and I thought that what they were doing on stage looked really easy. And I thought that was really fun. And I was I was 18, maybe going on 19, very like, I hadn't really gone to high school at that point, and I was a little bit living life really whimsical. And my mom on a Sunday says, what do you want to do with your life? You're not in college, I'm doing odd jobs. And I said, I want to be an actor. And that was like, whoa, where did that come from? But I got this thing, for those of you who don't remember, I'm showing my age here. There's something called the Ross Reports.
I remember that.
And that's where you would go like IMDb to look for an agent and manager. So I put on my best studs. I looked like Freddy. I said, I'm gonna dress up nice. And I took the Long Island Railroad into the city, and I went knocking on every agent's door that I could find, unsolicited, and someone signed me. And my first audition was for a show on MTV called I Spy Video. It was about 37 episodes. It was this improv thing, and it was my first audition, and the rest is history.
Wow, man, what a story! Jeez, man.
Love that.
Yeah, it takes a lot of guts to pull something like that off. Yeah, congrats, all unsolicited.
And you booked that, and you worked those episodes in I Spy, right?
I did.
Right out the gate.
Right out the gate, I did 37 episodes, and I booked a Spike Lee movie called Summer of Sam. And I at that time, I was very confident, false confidence, I almost want to call it. I kind of was like more confident in myself, not like an ego, or I wasn't cocky or anything like that, but I just had confidence that everything would work out. And because I always, I didn't have any formal training at the time. I just was making up my own acting kind of games in my head. And that seemed to work for about 2.5 years. And I had made enough money as an actor where I said, I'm going to go to school to study acting. So a little backwards there, but I did. I went to college for theater. I went to Queens College for a while. And then I went to a school in Long Island called CW Post.
Oh,
and
I know that. I have a lot of friends who went there.
Yeah, Post. And I got my BFA there in directing. And then when I got back out into the real world again with 2 degrees, I was very unsure of myself.
No, were you still the spur?
Yeah. I still do.
Always a spur?
Sure. I have it tattooed, so yeah.
Oh, that's great. Joe, you worked in radio for a while. Like, what was the big shift between working in radio to, I don't know, where'd you go after radio? You were working on big sets. Tell us how those experiences were with the people you were working with.
Yeah, so I was always interested in management, even when I was doing radio, because when music artists would come through the radio station to do interviews, they'd have the manager with them, and so I'd always have the artist on and the manager. I'm like, talking about the music and the singles, but like, what does the manager do? I'm interested in like what their day-to-day is. So it's always like, there's always a, as a manager, you're a small piece of the puzzle to putting it all together, and that's always been like, oh, that's so interesting to me to be a part of a team, to be a part of that establishment. After radio, like I said, I moved out here. I ended up working for a pretty big actor for a couple years, day to day, that kind of stuff. And I started forming these great relationships with casting directors and producers and directors, and that's what kind of parlayed me into management, because I just had tremendous experience doing that, learning learning the ropes, learning how to deal with contracts, learning all this stuff, having these relationships, and that's how I kind of got into management. And luckily, it's worked out for me. Worked for myself for a while, and now with Bohemia, I've had success doing it, and it's been awesome.
What is it like day to day as a manager? Both. Let's start before all this crazy strike stuff, and what how is it after?
So I mean, right now, obviously, there's a little bit of a shift because of the strikes and whatnot. But there's still stuff to do, and I'm still on the phone, still emailing folks all the time, checking in with my clients, making sure they're okay. A lot of it for my well-being is also mindset, to make sure the clients are okay. What are you working on? If you need a break, a lot of them get frustrated because this all happening or whatnot. Go take a vacation. Go do what you got to do. Do yoga, whatever it is. It's important. It is. So when we're back at it, when we're back in, it's strategy planning. It's talking about where we're at, what are our next steps? Do we have an agent we're working with? How are they stepping up? Are they pulling their weight? If not, should we look into other agents? What's the communication there? It really starts with communication. If you're not, if the communication is not there, whether it's me communicating with them or them communicating with me or communicating with the agent, then we got to nip that in the bud right away to see how we can fix that.
For some of our audience who may not know this, what is the difference between a manager and an agent?
So that's a question we get all the time. I would say an agent is more, they're the negotiator. They're picking up the phone. They're dialing. They're, as jobs come in, it's job. Whereas a manager, it's more strategic. It's more hand-holding. You're the anchor. You're the psychiatrist. You're the business manager. You're more day-to-day in the strategy of the career of your client.
Nice. Jaime, am I saying your name correctly?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, I've been practicing all day.
Thank you.
I'm glad I got it right.
go.
I met the guy a bunch of times, still can't get his name right. But being from the East Coast and kind of being bi-coastal, like, is there any like advantage to that? Like, how do you use that in your work life as an actor?
Advantage of kind of going back and forth. Yeah, it's a huge advantage because there's more work. And this is just kind of like par for the course when you go through periods where maybe you're not booking for a while. And that happens to everybody, whether
Yeah.
you're a big actor or a small actor, and you just go through periods where you're just, maybe the casting director's tired of your face, or no one wants to cast, for whatever reason, right? We don't know why, but you can go through this like low period. Then maybe there's a time to go start seeking other markets like New Mexico, Atlanta, Louisiana, New York, go back, you know. I think going, but to answer your question, just for me specifically, knowing a lot of the casting directors on both coasts, I feel is like a huge blessing to me. And it's been, for years, I've been doing, I've been able to do a lot of commercials too on both coasts, which I know a lot of actors haven't been able to pull that off. It's just commercials, but still, it's more work.
Of course. So for up-and-coming actors that are trying to figure it out, what advice would you give to them trying to meet these casting directors and people like that?
So when I was younger, I did a lot of casting director workshops. Like a lot. I think when I was out here, when I was younger, I was like in my 20s, I was like sleeping on my friend's floor, but I made sure that I would spend all my money on casting director workshops. So much that I just wanted to pour every penny into that, so people who could know who I was and could see my work. Now I think it's easier because there was no social media when I was doing that. And so I think my advice to younger actors would be just to hang out and DM with all the casting directors. And there's so many Zoom events now that you got to take advantage of that. That's why, I do think the strike is crazy, but I do think there's a hopefully a positive light for everyone at the end of this. And also, like Joe was saying, there's this time to strategize and maybe hit the reset button.
There's always something to do. Like, even when we're in the middle of a strike, like, you just can't sit around. So, like, let's work on, like, take a look at your headshots. Is there stuff to be done there? You need to make some adjustments. Look at your materials. Let's take out this clip. Let's add this one in from a scene from last year because you had that big scene with that big actor. Like, there's always something to do to curate. And then once we're back in from the strike, we're not waiting to fix it. Now we're already fixed. Now we're good to go.
No, that makes sense. There's probably, being that there's a lot of downtime during these current times, I'm sure there's a lot of actors who are seeking representation. Like, are you getting reached out to a lot, and how are you dealing with that, and what's been striking your interest? Are you taking meetings?
Yeah, I mean, well, we definitely get hit up probably daily, of course. We're luckily Bohemia is a big group and a big management company that's been around for years and years, so we're very well known, and I'm very fortunate to be a part of that. So. Yeah, I mean, what kind of stands out is your question? Like when someone sends in?
Yeah, and how has it been, especially during the strike? Like, what have people been reaching out regularly, even though, like, has that slowed down at all?
Yeah, and even to add to that real quick, like an actor sends you an email looking for representation. What in the email specifically? Because I get questions like this a lot. Like, hey, what do you put in the email to stand out, just so a rep sees me and wants to take it further to like a Zoom interview or in person or whatever the case may be?
So yeah, I would say if it's a cold reach out, I mean, it helps a lot if it's a referral. If it helps a lot if an agent is saying, hey, I have this client, take a look at him, I'm looking for management, because I know they work with the agent and I like the agent, so there's already camaraderie there. If not, if it's a cold email, then you want to just hit me with the facts. I don't need your life story. I don't need what you did when you were 14 years old on the farm. I don't care.
We want that here.
Yeah. We don't need that. Like, let's get to the nuts and bolts. Send me your all your links that you have. Send me a couple headshots. Send me your social media if you have it. Not that that's a big deal, but it's good to kind of look into what your lifestyle is, the kind of person you are. And then, maybe a little bit of what you just came off of. Hey, I just booked this last year. I just came off of this show in January, etc. So hit them with the facts, and then if there's an interest, if it's a look that I'm interested in, and it doesn't, it doesn't affect what I currently already have as far as a conflict of interest with somebody else, then I'll take a look.
Nice.
That's great.
We do want to ask the crowd if anybody does have any questions. We'll continue BSing up here. If we see a hand, we'll come to you.
Does anybody have any questions right now, or want to generate one in this moment?
So funny. That's my job.
Well, let's go right to Jaime. I know also aside from acting, you are a filmmaker, you're a producer. We produce some stuff together. What advice would you give to actors in regards to taking that next step into their creative endeavors and producing content? And then also, if you want to, talk a little bit about when you started producing your own content, getting into directing, aside from acting.
Yeah, I got yelled at by Spike Lee, and on set.
That'll do it.
So it was interesting, right? So I'm on set, I don't know what I'm doing, and I was starting to see, like, I was kind of like, not imposter syndrome, but I was like, I really should learn what goes on in a set if I'm getting paid to do this. And Spike Lee's assistant told me, do this scene, MOS. I didn't know what that meant. For anyone that doesn't know what that means, it means without sound, right? So you do it silent, like you just mime it. So I was just saying it louder and louder and louder, and he got pissed. Anyway, so I decided to go to film school. I said, since I was such a knucklehead in high school, now I want to be an overachiever, and I want to go to film school. So my first producing really started, I went to like NYU, I went to Columbia, and I was like, I'm going to try to go to these schools. But what I didn't like about them was theory. There was 2 years of theory, and it wasn't straight to filming. And I had read all those books, right, on theory. So I just wanted to start doing. And what I liked about my university is the first week you start making a film. And this was on, when it was 16 millimeter, right? So it was on film. And so I must have been in about 100 short films as an actor and made about 50 short films in college.
Wow.
So that's when you start producing. And then I think that's why going to a university does help you out, because everyone can call themselves, I'm a filmmaker, I'm a producer. I'm like, all right, well, if you haven't done anything, then you're just calling yourself that title, and maybe you did a silly short. But I think doing those drills and not asking for permission is the way to go. And what I'm really appreciated about going to college for film was they teach you how to collaborate with people. And you're not going to like everyone, but sometimes you make a great team with someone and working together. And my advice to younger people, and because I don't want to discredit, I hear a lot of this right now, right? Like, oh, you don't even have to go to college anymore. You could just make your own shit, which is true, right? But I think having gone to a university is an advantage. Similarly to having gone to like an acting conservatory is an advantage sometimes. But we're in a space where the digital age, where you can just make anything. So my advice would be, don't ask for permission and just make your own shit and find your tribe.
Yeah, let's give it up for that, actually.
Yeah, I like that.
Let's clap it up for that. Love that.
Yeah, that was really impressive. Yeah, I definitely stand by that. We're doing that here right now. We're making some magic happen with this show, and I want to continue that. Freddy, how are you doing during the strike? How are you prepping your materials as an actor? Give us a lowdown. I know you're getting into some other stuff as well, but as an actor, I guess as an actor first, what are you up to? Yeah,
no, definitely. So, like I mentioned in the beginning of the show, I'm producing and acting a theater piece. So for me, I started producing 6-7 years ago. Now I look to create with people that I love. I love being around. I love working with. Jaime's one of them. He's managing me now, Joe. So I'm very grateful for that. And as an actor, leading up to him even representing me, I had to get my stuff dialed in. Right. So I'm always 6 months ahead of where I want to be as an actor for sure. So if I feel like, intuitively I need to keep myself sharp, I'm always in class, or I'm always in a workshop. I'm always in the gym. That's period. But as there's always something to be done, I feel like. And like, for instance, this year I knew, I need to get new marketing materials. So what's that look like? Who am I I had to research headshot photographers. What type of look am I going for? How am I going to market myself? Okay, well, let me pay a little bit extra to have a career consultation with a casting director to give me advice on what type of looks or what type of shots will be better well suited for me as far as my type per se. As far as like the the craft itself, I was in a couple of acting classes. I took different. I got involved with a different coach, and then also I took some voice coaching. So pretty much as an actor, staying sharp at the end of the day, there's always something to be done. There's always something to be done no matter what. And if you can't find something, just go into class, because every time you get up once a week is a new thing. Even if you're doing the same scene, there's always discoveries to be made and to be had. So keep working.
Yeah.
Can I brag on Freddie
please.
for a little bit?
Yeah, go for it.
So,
Well,
Freddie,
take it easy. All right.
Freddie, I've known Freddie for a couple months through Vinny, and he came to me about looking for a manager, but him and I always kind of gelled, and we've always had just a great little camaraderie, and had a few laughs and all that. And so he sent me his stuff, and I'm like, maybe I think you're a good guy, but there's a few things we got to really dial in, whatnot. I mean, first off, we really need to get you an agent. That really help us, because there's power in numbers, that kind of stuff. Your headshots are like, okay, they're not bad, but we really could use some new ones. And so he does all the work. Like he gets new headshots. They come back super clean. He sends out to a couple agents, because he was sending out to a few people. He comes back. He gets an agent. He dials in all his materials and presents it. He's like, look I did what you said. What do you think now? I'm like, yeah, bro, that's what I'm talking about. Like, he did the work, and Freddie does the work. And so within the first month, mind you, first month of him signing with us, I'm not going to say the name of the project, he booked something, a great piece he booked.
That's an exclusive.
Exclusive right here. Unfortunately, because of the strike, we can't shoot it. But once the strike is over, he will be shooting this. But it just goes that his work ethic is there, and he listens. And that's a big part of as a manager and as a rep.
Love that.
Clients, they gotta listen. Like, we're here to help you guys. Just listen to us. Like, we're in the game. Like, we have these relationships with casting and the producers. Like, we know what's happening. So listen to us, and look what happens. It makes it happen.
And
Big ups,
I
man.
want to thank Joe. I know we're gonna wrap it up, but let me
Yeah.
speak on these two gentlemen right here. Let's see what the time is. We could probably.
We're good.
We're good. Jaime, I met Jaime a few years back from a mutual friend. He's been nothing but gracious, giving. I'm super grateful to, he's my friend. He's my pal first and foremost, but then we get to be able to create cool shit together. And, I'm very thankful to have him around me, just in general. He's looked out for me when, he's extended himself, when he didn't have to. He's always helped and has been there for me. And I'm going to tie this together too. Joe, we've met recently, but I know we gelled, we vibe. It's good energy. It's good people. You know what I'm saying? I could tell he cares, though, not just for me, but just for his clients too. Because, for actors out there that are looking for representation, I feel like it's a vibe. If you meet with an agent or a manager, you have to connect with. Someone mentioned it and liking it to dating. Within that meeting of you meeting with the agent or manager, you could probably tell if you want to work with the person. They could definitely tell it, but also I want to encourage actors not to take a seat of like, this is all I got, this is the only opportunity. No. Have no representation than someone that's not going to work for you and vibe with. Find someone that fits that gets you, So I want to land the plane here. These two awesome gentlemen are great people, and I want to just remind people to find, like Jaime said, your tribe. Find people you want to work with. It's a big thing. You come up together in this industry, and rising tides raises all ships. I just landed the plane.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, it's landed safely. Appreciate it. So, in closing with that, we got a real life example of understanding what it takes to get a rep, how to land the rep, and how to actually land a role, through that rep as a team. So it was pretty impressive, and we learned do the right thing, and maybe some of the right things will happen. Keep trying, don't give up, all that good stuff. Yeah,
do the right thing. Spike Lee. Pun intended?
Yeah, pun intended.
Pun intended.
Yeah, it was planned. But if you guys want to brag about anything real quick, that I don't know, about any future stuff, I usually give people a second to brag about where people could find you, how they could connect with you, and if you want to, I don't know, shout anything out or people.
Instagram, Jaime Zevallos. I have, we have a project that we did with some other people here in the audience. We did a film that will be premiering, West Coast premiere at the Burbank Film Festival called Replica, starring Mickey Rourke, starring Freddy as well.
I don't know.
Adam
Sorry,
and Layla. And
Layla's in the audience. Adam.
I have an extra role in it. I was a producer on it. It was Mickey Rourke, and
we got our short that you directed, Priority Boarding. That we all acted in.
Priority Boarding.
All this is independent, not affiliated with the AMPTP.
None of that. And then I have a short that is. It's funny. I did a short when we first got to LA. I auditioned for a short, man, and this director put me through the ringer, and I was like, because after a while, you're like, man, I got these many credits, and you're making me audition for your short, and a callback, and a chemistry test, and the casting. But you do it all with a smile, and you're like, hey, it's really good work. But in my inner head, I was like, can you just offer me the role already? You know what I mean? Just without auditioning, too, that kind of thing. But he had a vision, and they spent a lot of money on the short, and it won the best dramatic short at the LA Shorts International, and it just got into another Oscar qualifier. So they're going to be campaigning that for the Oscars, and
it's called
The Kill Floor. And
congrats, man! That's
congrats to
incredible.
Jaime. He kills it. He's a lead.
Thank you. So it's been getting me a lot of notoriety, and it's kind of cool. I'm doing like a TV show tomorrow morning, being interviewed for. Based on a short, right? And you just never know.
Yeah, I mean, you just gotta keep pushing forward, man.
You gotta keep going. Yeah. So that would be my advice. Just take it serious, and don't think of anything. Don't be like me and think you're like too good for something sometimes. But just take it serious.
Appreciate you coming out.
I'll just do a quick social media at Joey Girard, Instagram, Twitter, which is now X. Sorry, Elon. And just quick note: when you guys, actors when you're trying to look for reps, you're trying to find your tribe. Just be yourself. Remember, you're one of one. Show up with integrity, with excellence, and what will be, and it'll all fall into place.
Thank you, guys. Thank you, Breakroom 86. Take care of your bartenders. We're gonna have a sick time. We'll be here next month. We'll keep you updated with the date. Please make sure to subscribe and follow us on Spotify, Instagram, YouTube, all those great places. If you're not subscribed yet, get on there, please. We need you. And there's going to be a lot of fun stuff going on tonight. Freddie, got any closing words?
Closing words is, I appreciate y'all. We love y'all. Stay safe out there. And we'll see you next time at Breakroom 86 for the Live Industry Podcast. Thank you all. Have a great night.